I never imagined the day I buried my mother would also be the day my sister revealed who she truly was. As I stood by the casket, holding back tears, my sister, Melissa, leaned toward her friend and whispered loud enough for everyone to hear. "Can you believe she showed up in that dress? Even at Mom's funeral, she looks cheap." Her words cut deeper than grief itself. People turned. Some pitied me. Others smirked. But Melissa didn't stop. She scanned me from head to toe, mocking my plain black dress, the same one Mom bought me years ago when I couldn't afford much. I bit my lip and stayed silent. This wasn't the place for anger. Still, inside, something broke. You see, Melissa had always been Mom's golden child. She married rich, wore diamonds, and thought kindness was a weakness. I, on the other hand, stayed close to Mom, cared for her when she fell ill, and never asked for anything. Standing there, humiliated, I reminded myself, funerals reveal more than death, they show people's true hearts. And Melissa's heart was rotten with greed. What she didn't know was that Mom had already seen through her long ago. And soon, Melissa would regret every cruel word she said that day. After the funeral, we gathered at Mom's house for the reading of the will. It was quiet, too quiet, except for the occasional sound of Melissa's jewelry clinking against her glass of champagne. Yes, champagne. At a funeral gathering. That's my sister. She smiled like she already owned everything, the house, the jewelry, Mom's antique piano. She even whispered to her husband, "I can't wait to finally get the lake house. It'll look perfect on my Instagram." I sat silently, holding Mom's favorite locket. It had a photo of both of us, and a small note she'd once written, "Everything you need is already in your heart." At the time, I didn't know how literal those words would become. When the lawyer arrived, Melissa rushed to the front, pretending to dab her eyes with a tissue. I stayed in the corner, watching. The lawyer cleared his throat. "Your mother left a very specific set of instructions in her will," he began. Melissa interrupted, yes, I know. The house, the jewelry, and her accounts will obviously come to me. She always said I was responsible." The lawyer gave her a strange look. "Actually, Miss Parker," he said slowly, "your mother left something unexpected." Melissa frowned. "What do you mean, unexpected?" He continued, "Your mother's entire estate, including the house, jewelry, savings, and all property, has been left to her younger daughter, Emily." The room went silent. I froze. Melissa's face drained of color. "What? That can't be right," she shouted. The lawyer nodded calmly. "Mrs. Parker said Emily was the one who stayed by her side when everyone else was too busy. She wanted her to have everything." For the first time in years, I couldn't find the words. Melissa's jaw trembled as she glared at me. "You manipulated her, didn't you? You took advantage of her while she was sick." I stood up slowly. "No, Melissa. I took care of her. While you were posting vacation photos, I was holding her hand through chemo. Her husband tried to calm her, but she shoved him away. This isn't fair. I deserve it more." That sentence, "I deserve it more," summed up Melissa perfectly. Always entitled. Always cruel. I turned to the lawyer. "Please, continue." He nodded. "There's one more letter addressed to you, Emily. Your mother wanted you to read it privately." Later that night, alone in Mom's old bedroom, I opened the envelope. Inside was her handwriting, shaky but full of love. "My dear Emily. You have always been the quiet strength of this family. Don't let others' cruelty harden your heart. You earned this not because of blood, but because of love. Let kindness be your victory." Tears filled my eyes. I looked at the photo on the dresser, Mom smiling in her garden, and whispered, "Thank you." A few days later, Melissa showed up at my door. Her perfect curls were a mess, and the fake smile she wore at the funeral was gone. "Emily," she started softly, I didn't mean what I said. You know how grief makes people act strange." I just looked at her. "Grief didn't make you mock me at Mom's funeral, Melissa. pride did. She sighed, glancing around my living room. Maybe we could share the inheritance? I mean, Mom wouldn't want us to fight. I almost laughed. You mean the inheritance you called me unworthy of? Her eyes filled with tears. Please. I'm in debt. My husband's business is falling apart. I just need some help. That's when I realized this wasn't about love or forgiveness. It was about desperation. I took a deep breath. Mom always said giving without respect is the same as losing yourself. So no, Melissa. Not this time. She stared at me in disbelief. You're serious? I nodded. I'm serious. When she left, slamming the door behind her, I didn't feel triumphant, just peaceful. For the first time, I understood that revenge doesn't always mean hurting someone back. Sometimes, it means walking away and letting their own choices destroy them. Weeks later, I visited Mom's grave with a bouquet of white lilies, her favorite. The sun was warm, and for once, my heart felt light. I whispered, "You were right, Mom. Love is the real inheritance." Melissa never apologized again. She moved out of town, trying to rebuild her life, but the damage she caused lingered, mostly for herself. As for me, I used part of Mom's inheritance to start a small charity for cancer patients, the same illness that took her away. Every donation, every smile, every thank you, it felt like Mom's love living on. Sometimes I think back to that day at the funeral. Her cruel words, my silence, the pity in people's eyes. And I realize that silence was my power. Because while Melissa mocked my dress, I carried something she never could, a heart my mother trusted. What would you do if your own sister mocked you at your mother's funeral? Would you stay silent like I did, or give her the lesson she deserved?